So you want to just get right into it?
Let's get right into it.
And say what's on everyone's minds
What's on everyone's minds?
right off the bat. Well, I'm not gonna like go through the motions of like a half-hearted introduction when all we really care about is the hedgehog.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
For those of you that follow us on social medias, Instagram, Twitter, whatnot, Facebook, friends, all of that, you would know that earlier on in the week, we lost our hedgehog, Prickle the hedgehog.
Yeah.
Are you fucking with the dog?
Yeah.
Trying to get her to stop scratching?
Stop it. Go. It's been rough.
Yeah. I don't even really know what I want to say about it. So I don't remember what day it was. Do you remember what day that was?
What?
I think it was Wednesday.
Yeah, it was Wednesday when he got sick.
Wednesday evening. I went into the spare bedroom to feed the cat. And something was just off. It was probably like 10 or 10:30 at night.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. When I was feeding the cat, I could just tell that there was something wrong with the room. And we never had a towel over his cage before.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's, I don't know, like, generally when I feed the cat, I'll look in the cage and I'll just see what he's up to. So having the towel over the cage, for whatever it was, for moving purposes or whatever, because we sent him away for a day or two. And we had just a big bathroom towel over the cage. So I couldn't just see into the cage like I normally could. So I had to lift up the towel. But I just realized that he should be up and going. Like, that's the time of the night that he's like the most active. He's
Mm-hmm.
running on his wheel. He's doing all kinds of shit. And he wasn't. So I took a peek in the cage and I found him just fucking slumped over.
I mean, normally he's like curled up in a ball, but it was
Right.
different.
Yeah, if he's like sleeping or whatever, he'll burrow into the bedding and he'll curl up in a little ball, and you can see him, like, they breathe really fast. But
Mhm.
this guy, I could barely tell he was breathing. He slowed his whole system down a lot. So obviously we panicked a little bit, took him out of the cage, and a few minutes after messing with him a little bit, she realized that his water bottle was set up
He just wasn't able to reach it.
really high on the cage. Yeah, he wasn't able to reach his water. So we kind of like hand fed him.
Like bottle fed him pretty much.
She's gonna piss me the fuck off.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna lock her up.
Okay. I'll wait.
Go over here. Go.
Meanwhile, the animals that we do still have. Should give her a noogie. Yeah. I'm assuming you're talking about the dog. I don't know who that is, by the way. Do you know who that is?
I'm gonna assume it's one of my people.
Maybe.
'cause-
Welcome, Huntman.
Mhm.
32222. Pretty sure that was right. Anyways, we bottle watered the hedgehog, just assuming that he was dehydrated and such. He was super weak, wobbling. He could barely pick his head up. He couldn't walk. He couldn't support his own weight. All of that. So we nursed him for a couple of hours, and then we put him in a carrier, like a cat carrier, dog carrier, whatever, just so we could keep tabs on him in the bedroom. Plus his usual cage, the bottom part it has an edge of like, I don't know, probably like 3 extra inches.
Mm-hmm.
So we could put the water way down on the carrier in the front cage so that he could reach it without any effort at all. And we just kept him there overnight. And overnight he was up, walking around inside the carrier, carrying on. He was sniffing around, burrowed in the towel.
Right. Like, by the time we were going to bed, like, he was already running around the carrier. We're like, okay, like, he's good in here. We're going to keep him there all night and tomorrow. And luckily, Matt had the next day off. Right?
No. Yeah, I did. So that was Tuesday night.
Yeah, so it was Tuesday night and then Wednesday.
So I did have the next day off. And I stayed with him all day. My mom was here she stayed with us a couple of days because she worked in town here and she was just trying to save gas money. So anyway, she stayed with us for a couple of nights, and towards the end of the day on Wednesday, I had the hedgehog out. He was running around. He was happy. He was supporting himself. He was drinking his own water. He was playing with the fucking cat.
He was so good. He was like running around the entire apartment and just having a ball.
I was sending Kendall videos on Snapchat and all that.
Yeah, I was like so relieved.
And most of all, he was actually like sociable with me. Normally he would curl up in a ball and just hiss at me. And again, I kind of wonder if even at that point he just didn't want to defend himself like that, or if he just, I don't know. Anyways, so we were like, cool, he's on the up and up. I even tweeted about it. I sent a picture of him drinking water. I was like, we had a little scare, thought he was dehydrated, but he's coming around. And then Thursday came. And Thursday for me was, I'm going to put it in the top 10 worst days of my life.
Yeah.
Not anywhere near the worst, but definitely top 10.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
So
I was leaving for work, and I just went to go like say goodbye to him or whatever. And when I like opened up his cage to like see how his food was doing and everything, he like, I can see he just kind of like side-eyed me. Like, he didn't really full on look at me. Like, sometimes he'll sniff his nose at me like wanting food or, you know, anything. He definitely just side-eyed me, and it was messed up. And it felt weird, so I took his water bottle again and I put it right in front of him, and I was like, okay, maybe he really can't reach his water bottle or something. So I put it right in front of him, and he didn't do anything. He didn't go after it or anything, and I was like, okay. And it just felt off. So I had to go to work. So I put the water bottle back, closed the cage, and by that time you were gonna be home in like 2 hours. So I got to work at 3. He got off work at 3. So
I got off work at 3. I got home around 4 o'clock.
Yeah, so I called you right when you got off work. And I was like, hey, just so you know, Prick was acting a little funny. Can you keep a close eye on him tonight? And you were like, what was going on or whatever. And I was like, I don't know. Something just fell off. I don't know what it was. Said, but I'm getting him mealworms because he eats mealworms. He loves mealworms. And I'm going to see if I can get him like a little bowl that we can put his water in or whatever. A new bowl. And that was that. I went through the whole work day, and then Matt was taking care of him. I went on my lunch break. I got mealworms, and I got him the bowl, and I ate my sandwich, and it was like 5 minutes till the end of my lunch break, and I was like, I'm just gonna text Matt and see how he's doing. So I texted Matt. I said, hey, how's little dude doing? And Matt didn't text me back for like another like hour and a half. It was a while. And by the time I was able to go back into the office and look at my phone, it had been like 2.5 hours later. And Matt texted me and said he's not doing too good. And then I still had like 4 hours until 3 or 4 hours until I had to close the store.
Mm-hmm.
So it was pretty, like, I was freaking out. And I knew that's like not what his intentions were or anything, but it was bad.
So backtracking a little bit, my side of the morning, I woke up late. It's my Monday. I have Tuesdays and Wednesdays off, so it's my Monday. I wake up late. I don't have anything ready because I never have anything ready. My clothes, my work clothes were spread out all over the apartment because we did some laundry. I couldn't find my belt. Couldn't find my hat.
Did you do laundry? Because I didn't do laundry.
I don't remember.
Anyway.
So I'm running behind. And I get out to my car. The windows are completely frosted, which is typical. It's December. But I don't have enough gas in my car to like leave my car on and defrost my windows. My gas light was already on over my weekend, and I just forgot to go get gas. Because my mom was here, we took her car everywhere. We took her car to dinner, and I just forgot that I needed gas. So that made me like late to a point that I couldn't recover from. Like I couldn't even speed to work and make up for the lateness that I had. What is that?
I don't know.
So I'm like 5 to 6 minutes late, even if I sped. And
Stop it.
anyways, I was going to be late even if I sped. So I didn't speed. So I got gas. Everything's fine. Whatever. I'm going to take a hit. So I get to work. And I get all my shit together. I start heading inside. And I get all the way up to the gatehouse, which I work in a prison, for those of you that don't know. I work in a prison, so I get up to the front gatehouse, where they basically check all of our shit as we come in. And I walk through the metal detector, and the metal detector goes off. Again, something that never, ever happens, even when I'm in full uniform, with a metal badge and a metal belt buckle and all this bullshit on me. The metal detector never goes off from me. And it went off, so I'm like, fuck. So I just immediately start patting myself down. Get down to my pants, bam. My phone's in my pocket. Are you fucking kidding me?
Your cat. Stop it.
So obnoxious tonight. Trying to tell a story.
I don't know what to do. I'm cold though.
I'm not cold.
I'm freezing.
Anyways, so my cell phone is in my pocket. Big no. So I have to go back out to my car. So I go back out to my car, and I realize I left my car keys in the gatehouse. So I had to walk all the way back into the gatehouse, get my car keys, walk all the way back onto my car. By that time, I'm like 12 minutes late for fucking roll call. Disaster day. And then the day was, I guess the day was fine. So then I come home, obviously to the Hedgehog not being in a very good state. So he's once again back to being pretty unresponsive. He's not taking water from me, even trying to bottle feed him and all of that. And I put him in the carrier, bring him back out to the desk, and as I'm playing, I don't know. I put him on a heating pad, and he got a little bit livelier, but it wasn't good. He was struggling to like breathe. He just wasn't doing very well, and at one point he actually threw up a little bit in the carrier, and then it was really hard for him to breathe, and that's when I kind of knew that it was time to do something.
It was time.
And like the Hedgehog's been yours for a long time, and you have this connection with him. You raised him. You guys were friends. You guys have been friends forever. Whereas for me, when he met me originally, obviously he didn't know me. So every time he's seen me or interacted with me, he's just balled up and hissed at me. But over the last week or so, like, I don't know. I'm not like searching for empathy or anything, but like taking care of him and seeing him recover and then hanging out with him, just us, like around the apartment, stuff like that, was good. And I was like, fuck yeah, we got him back. And then to not have you here for that, and then not have you here at the worst time, was really difficult for me.
It was difficult not being here.
I know. I'm glad you weren't here though, because you wouldn't have let me do anything.
I know. So, oh God. So I was on my way home, and I was flipping. I realized I went through pretty much the whole car ride in silence. And then I'm like outside of town. I was like, oh, I should turn on the radio. So I turned on the radio, and I was listening to his commercials. I was like, flip to like one of like the, top hit radio stations or whatever, like, pop songs or whatever. And this song Happier comes on, which is a very emotional song. It's a very emotional music video. So when I watched the music video, pretty much the whole music video was this girl gets a dog, and then the dog grows up, and then they talk about like it's like the lyrics are like, you'll be happier without me, and like that was like the whole purpose of the music video, was like the dog was dying. Oh God, I'm gonna cry. So that song came on, and I bawled my eyes out. So I was like, I just didn't feel good like the whole day. And I got home, and I like rushed in here, probably woke up your mom, like.
Probably. So I have to wake up at like 5:30 in the morning every morning. So I was in bed by like 10:30 or so.
Yeah, and
you got home probably like 11:30 or 12.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you were
definitely
pretty late.
12 because I got off work at 11.
All right. 12 or later. So she woke me up, and I just stumbled out of bed with one eye and gave you a big hug.
And I knew.
And you knew.
Because if he was doing better, like, you would have let me like gone into the bedroom and say something to him.
If he was doing better, I would have told you.
Yeah.
The big hour and a half gap or so where I didn't text you because you were at PetSmart buying stuff, he was already gone.
Oh, you didn't tell me that.
No, I didn't.
Oh, that makes it so much worse.
He was gone early, and I didn't want to tell you. I didn't want to tell you until you got home.
That's super sad.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
So I cried. I cried over an animal that wasn't mine. Many times. I cried the day the day of and the day after. But we still have 2 beautiful terrors.
God. And it's funny because, like, we always said, like, anytime, like, you know, something's, like, messy around the house, like, it's either my dog or his cat. Like, these animals are terriers. So we always said Prick was the good child.
Yeah. Even though he smelled.
Yeah, he's smelly.
He smelled.
It's fine, though. We accepted him for his smelly self.
Yeah.
And, our good boy's gone.
Yeah.
Super sad. Super duper sad. And the another thing that I'd said to you, like, wow, we were, like, after, you know, I got home, was like, you didn't think you'd cry over that motherfucker, did you?
It's just the way that it happened.
Yeah. It's
like, had
super dramatic.
Tuesday night when I found him, if he had been dead like that, then when I found him, I probably, I can't say that I wouldn't have cried, but it wouldn't have hit me as hard as it did the way that it happened. With, like, me having to take care of him for 2 days while you were at work and seeing him go through his ups and downs, and then being the one to have to take care of it at the end without you.
Yeah.
Was very difficult for me.
I don't know. And then the next day I had to, obviously we live in an apartment building, so I don't have anywhere to put him. Like, I can't go bury him behind the building. 1, because I don't have a shovel. 2, because that's not where I want to bury him.
Right.
And so I took him home, took him to my parents' home, and he was buried right next to a pine tree. It may have been too close to the pine tree. I may have hit some roots, so it might die now.
Nah.
I think it'll be fine. But I'd growing up, I never had to. I've had a lot of animals in my life. Lots of cats, a couple dogs, lots of cats, and I don't know. I don't ever remember having. I think I buried 1 cat before, but I don't really remember it because it was a kitten, and I knew growing up to not get attached to the kittens because we always had to give them away. And when I buried him, like, I thought it was, like, I cried, but I thought it was going to be so much worse than it was. Like, it was oddly a really good closure. Like, it felt good to do that. And I had Vinny next to me, my big dog, so that felt a little bit better. And he was a good boy, and he shoved some of the dirt in for me, and he sat down and he laid there as I was crying, and he's such a good boy. But it was okay.
Yeah.
I can't say it was a good time because it wasn't.
Right. But speaking of the cat and dog that we still have.
Yeah. Yeah.
As you can see, my Christmas tree is now naked. During all of this, one morning, I don't remember which morning it was. It doesn't really matter.
No.
We woke up and found my Christmas tree on the floor, missing every single ornament. All of them. And all of the ornaments were broken. All of them were chewed up and broken, and the little caps with the hooks and all of that were chewed off and lying around. So we had to buy all new ornaments, and we have yet to redecorate the Christmas tree. So I think for the remainder of the podcast, we're going to talk while putting up some balls.
Do you have the hoops?
And some pine cones.
Do you have the hooks?
The hooks? Negative.
Where are they?
Should be on the stove with the...
Is this you telling me to go get them?
Yeah. I mean, I got a desk in my way.
I have a heated blanket on me.
Are you going to entertain them? No? Is that a no? Go get the hooks. Go get the hooks. So we got a little pine cone. We're gonna put on it too. One of these days, what? Oh, one of these days, before Christmas, before too long, we're gonna have a stream, kind of like the Monopoly stream. We have a couple of what are they called? Gingerbread house kits that we're gonna take on. Beards and Blush take on gingerbread houses.
Watch the fail. Because your girl's not creative.
No.
No.
Yeah, take the tape off the backs. So back to your original programming. That was obviously the low points of both of our weeks.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna I'm just gonna go ahead and do the intro now. 26 minutes in. No big deal. So this is the Beards and Blush live couples podcast. What did you say about it the other day? Oh yeah, we're the normal people.
Yeah.
Because every other podcast is, well, not every other podcast, but most other podcasts, people come from some kind of background, or they're already famous in some way or another, or they already have huge followings from something else, which is the same as being famous from something else, which is something I already said. Anyways, we are. I can't get this tape off.
Let me. Yeah.
We are the normal people doing normal things, talking about normal shit. We have normal lives, and hopefully that's relatable to some people.
Yeah. Quote from my Instagram bio is, "Life is rough for the average person." Let's talk about it.
The average person. Yeah. As always, we are live on YouTube and Twitch. It's YouTube at Beards and Blush, and that's twitch.tv/Beards and Blush. You can find us on Instagram, on Twitter. I think that's it. At Beards and Blush. We still have a challenge out to the viewers that expires. Well, it doesn't really expire, but we would like it to expire because we would like it to be finished by Christmas-ish. At least by the end of the year. Twitch.tv/Beards and Blush. Go to that website. If you have Amazon Prime, you can link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, and you could subscribe to us for free.
Free?
For free. Yeah. So
$3.99
at 10, or you can pay $4.99 for the subscribe for the subscription. $4.99 a month, or $9.99, or $24.99. However you want to contribute, we love you. Or for free with Twitch Prime. So at 10 subscribers, we will do a role swapping podcast where Kendall gets a beard and puts some makeup on me. This is a clusterfuck. And Kendall tries to be the clusterfuck and run the stream. It's gonna be a good time.
We shall see.
So anyways, once again, twitch.tv/Beards and Blush. 10 new subscribers. We'll do it up.
I know.
Yeah.
This is rough.
I'm sorry.
I don't like this.
So on top of all of that happened last week, we had a random inspection on our apartment.
I was wondering if you were going to talk about this.
Yeah. Well, that was the original low point until Prick.
For sure. It's been a rough week.
It's been a fucking terrible week. So I've lived in this apartment for 4 years. The first 3 years by myself, the last year with Kendall. And we have never had an inspection on this apartment. All of a sudden, now we have inspections. Annual inspections, so they say. So they came in, sent this little 20-year-old girl in here to do maintenance inspections. Yeah, okay, because she knows what the fuck she's looking at. And at the end of it, she goes, so do you have any pets? Little backstory.
Mm-hmm.
We have an animal that we have not paid for. Well, we have now. So we had an animal that we hadn't paid for. Hadn't registered with the landlord or any of that. So they ended up charging us $400, which is the set deposit amount, and then it's $25 a month for pet rent. And then, because we didn't register the pet and they found it, another $250 as an unauthorized pet fee. So my rent this month was $1,660. Isn't that fucking insane? $1,660. Almost twice the normal rent. That's fucking wild.
So Matt decided no Christmas for Kendall.
That's not what I decided at all.
That's what you decided.
No, it's not what I decided, because you are getting Christmas. It's just the budget has been greatly impacted.
That's fine. I don't want a Christmas.
By the
Matt doesn't
understand. Rent.
Matt doesn't understand how good his Christmas present is. That, like, I'm gonna benefit from it too.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And he still hasn't guessed it.
It's because I'm not really actively trying.
Yes,
anymore.
you are.
Not anymore. I tried for like a night.
You even guessed the other day. You asked Kendall, did you get me a computer desk?
Yeah.
It was at Walmart.
What was I thinking? I was thinking of something else today. I wonder if that's it. I don't think it is.
What is it?
I don't remember. It was something multi pieces. But I was like, it's not something, so
guarantee it's wrong.
The definition you gave, the definition you gave is something with multiple parts that we could both make use of multiple times.
I won't get use of some of the parts.
Does it have a vagina?
So you can make use of some of the parts multiple times. I can't.
It's a vagina. It's definitely a vagina.
Only one part can. No, I can't make use of that multiple times. One part is going to benefit me once.
One part will benefit you one time, and the other parts will benefit me multiple times? Mm-hmm. That makes no fucking sense. Can I have one of these pine cones that you have set, like, in weird places?
I know. I'm just trying to make it appealing for this guy. Because look, now you have 3. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. So
you
I
have
put
4
one right here.
You put 3 right in a row right here. I put mine down here.
Yeah, now it's dun, 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 dun.
Whatever.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, you know what we have that we haven't put on yet?
Santa.
The anal beads.
The anal beads. My sister used to call those lesbian beads for some reason.
Well, they don't have to be just for lesbians.
I don't get it.
I have to stand up to put these on.
Get loud. Do you need more pine cones?
No, we don't need more pine cones. This tree's pretty small.
Yeah, it's really small. But, like, you can't see the pine cones.
Well.
Hey, guys.
Little red pine cones.
No red pine cones. I think I'm breathing heavy.
Are you?
I think so. I think I'm out of breath.
I know, it's a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
Putting this Christmas tree together. Excuse me.
Well, speaking of which, while you're up, can you go grab me more chocolate?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
One more round of anal beads. Shut up, Tula.
You knocked it off.
Bum. Alright. Christmas tree's done again, kind of.
There you go. Cool. We're so creative.
Alright.
Now we have extras, 50 billion extras of these guys.
Yeah.
Probably used for the rest of our lives.
Yeah. What else do we have here? I have lots of random shit written down.
Ew.
So I heard, you know what the hottest Christmas gift is for children right now?
Something with Fortnite.
No. Good guess, though.
I don't know.
I'm talking like little kids.
I don't know.
You know the Baby Shark song.
No.
Apparently, they came out with a doll
Mm-hmm.
that you press and it sings.
I couldn't fucking imagine.
You should get one for your nieces.
No. I'm getting them bathtub toys. And I got them makeup.
Wow, you just said that right on the podcast.
Not like they're going to see it.
They might be viewers. Maybe they're one of our subscribers.
They're probably not. They're babies.
Babies. Yeah. All right. All right.
That's what they got.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So you remember when, well, we were going to see
Greatest Showman.
Grindelwald, the Fantastic Beasts. Yes, and we saw on the wall the reboot of The Grinch.
Mm-hmm.
I saw something on the news that was like people really hammering the new Grinch,
They hate
saying
it.
that it was like a soft version, you know, like the world that we live in, soft. And they just fucking just tearing it. I don't remember the wording that they used, but
Everyone
it was
hated
rough.
it. Everyone hated it.
Yeah, you want to see it?
No.
Me neither.
The only time I really like, I will not go to the movies unless it's a movie I really want to see. Like, some people go to the movies just to go to the movies. Like,
Yeah, just have something to do.
yeah.
Well, like my stepdad and his dad used to go every Wednesday,
yeah.
and I would go every once in a while. But they would go every Wednesday, and sometimes we'd see some bad fucking movies.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
No way. No way.
Well, sometimes you saw some good ones.
Symptoms.
Speaking of being soft,
Okay.
vagina. No.
Okay.
Sometimes I wish this was a solo podcast. Then I could laugh at my own jokes and not have somebody sitting there staring at me, not laughing. And I'd be like, oh yeah, it was still funny.
Soft. What is soft?
So what was I looking? I was looking for something. Oh, I saw some shit like Josh Brolin, the guy who plays Thanos, has a Thanos Twitter account. I believe it's ran by Josh Brolin, but I'm not sure. I didn't look that far into it. But people were upset of some homophobic tweets from years ago from the Thanos account. And I couldn't find it, so I don't know if that's real or not. But right now, Kevin Hart is under fire for homophobic tweets.
Everybody is.
And Nick Cannon
Of course.
dug up some old homophobic tweets from female comedians from a long time ago and said, here, look at these two. Now shut the fuck up, please. Who else was it? I wrote it down. Okay, so yesterday, college football, quarterback, won the Heisman. Kyler Murray, quarterback for Oklahoma. As soon as he won the Heisman, people started trying to dig up all the fucking shit on him they could. Found some homophobic tweets.
Of course.
And I say homophobic very loosely because they're really not homophobic tweets. People
They're
just
offensive.
treat them. No. Here's the thing. Things are not offensive. People are just offended by it.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is offensive unless you're a fucking bitch and you are offended by it. Then it is only offensive to you. And that's your own fucking problem. Get over it. That's how I feel about it.
I didn't understand that.
Let me put it to you this way. If I say the word fag, the word fag is not offensive unless someone over there says, I don't like that word. I find it offensive. Great. What I said is not offensive, but you're just offended by it. That's your own problem.
But doesn't that make it offensive?
No.
I would think that would make it offensive.
No. Just no.
Is that your opinion, or is
It's
that
just
what's right or wrong?
It's a noise you make with your mouth. I'm not calling somebody a fag, but if somebody who is not even gay wants a meh, that's your own fucking problem. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with gay people. It's a noise you make with your mouth. It's a word. Just like word. I'm offended by the word. Don't say it anymore. That's how I feel about it.
I don't know.
Why? Because you're soft? Here's the thing. If somebody dug up some tweets, and I'm sure I have some tweets, maybe not homophobic tweets, but like, for instance, Kyler Murray, the Heisman quarterback winner from last night. Somebody dug up tweets from when he was 14 years old, and he tweeted to his friends and just said some shit like, you guys are queers. That is not offensive. There are people out there just looking for things to be offended by.
Yeah, I get that part.
That's all I'm saying.
Depends on the situation, but yes.
That's all I'm saying. I mean, if you're sitting there calling somebody who's gay a fag or a queer or something, if you're saying it in a hostile way, then you're being an asshole, whether it's offensive or not.
I mean, just saying it in general, like, everyone pretty much wants those words to just go away.
Oh, it's not going to happen.
Okay, but, like, saying it is offensive. Like, everyone wants those words to go away because they're harsh words.
They're not.
Fag is a harsh word.
They're just words. It's just a noise.
It's I'm trying to open up my mind to what you're saying, but, like, at the same time, it's still...
I mean, if you're doing...
It's like, still offensive.
It's like Tom Segura had a comedy special, and he said, you can't even say the word retarded anymore. Like, and then he gave an example. You're talking to your friend about, oh, we're going to go do this, and then we're going to go do that, and then we're going to go back and do this. And he's like, oh, that's retarded. And people went fucking ballistic about it. All he was doing was giving an example of how it is used in an unoffensive way, and people were offended by it. And that is way over the top.
Yeah, see, with the word retarded, like, I get it, and I don't get it. Like, I know people who take that word very, very, very offensive, and, like, in some contexts have every right to take it to be offended by it. But at the same time, I see your way in it as well. Like, you have your own, like, backstory.
Well,
like, you have your own reasonings and, like, word of context and, like, why you say that word, because you do drop that word a lot.
Yeah, because some stuff is just fucking retarded.
Yeah.
And some stuff is fucking gay. Not people. I mean, some people.
Stop.
Here's the thing, is that I am not an overly sensitive person.
Right.
I'm barely sensitive at all. But, like, some people just want something to be mad at. And those are the people that we need to eliminate. I would like to know what the percentage of that is. If you could please take our survey on Twitter, I will find you. And I will kill you. Anyways, let's move on.
Please.
Shall we?
Because apparently we have differences.
Well, we knew we were going to have differences.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we did the podcast. Here's the thing. If somebody dug up some tweets on me and, like, okay, I could see the Kevin Hart thing being offensive because he said it was homophobic. It wasn't him saying something, using a word that has been used in a derogatory way or in a harsh way towards somebody. He didn't just use one of those words freely to describe something that has nothing to do with somebody being gay. Mm-hmm. Like the examples that I gave. He actually said in a bit, which happened so fucking long ago and people are just now getting upset about it for some reason.
Yeah.
That one of his biggest fears is his son growing up to be gay. And that is extremely homophobic.
It's extremely homophobic.
But he refused to apologize for it for a long time. And he finally just did. And I'm just here to tell you, episode 13 of the Beards and Blush podcast at minute marker 47 and a half. If you find offensive tweets from me, I don't give a fuck. Go fuck yourself.
Wait.
Yeah. I said episode 13 again.
Isn't this episode 14?
No.
I'm confused. Okay.
I didn't like the last one.
So you deleted it?
Yup.
Oh my god. Why didn't you tell me?
I just did it yesterday.
Okay.
I'm going to take some clips of, like, the good parts later on, but...
Okay.
A good bulk of that episode I didn't like. Okay. I had a lot of controversial topics that I didn't fully think out before we started talking about them, and I didn't like the way that they went.
Okay. I don't even remember.
Yeah. Anyways, go fuck yourself. Not you, but those people that find my tweets.
Yeah, I am, like, on the same page because, like, me and you, like, going into this were, like, you know.
Yeah, we talked about that before.
We talked about it, and I was like, I probably, like, am 80% sure, like, I know I have offensive stuff on there, like, on my Twitter. I even said, like, I want to delete my whole Twitter account and just start new because I'm pretty sure I might have some offensive stuff on there. Like, I was stupid in high school.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, nobody's the same person that they were in high school.
Go dig up some tweets from Kendall, guys.
I'm sure you guys can. I have different point of views now.
I don't really have a whole lot.
I was very closed-minded back in the day.
Yeah.
We'll just say that. I've definitely opened up my eyes to a lot of things.
That's interesting. We'll have to talk about that off air.
Why?
Because I kind of want to know now.
No,
like, what kind of person you were back then. What kind of things you would have.
Don't worry about it.
Ideology you had back then.
It was just stupid, honestly.
You were retarded. I don't think I have any really I don't know, things that would set me out.
I probably honestly I probably do.
I mean,
and I'm an easy target too because, like, I'm the type of person that like likes to be a people pleaser. Like we already talked about that. Like I will go out of my way to be nice to everybody. And I'm sure like I have retweeted something that I thought was funny and now is very offensive.
Yeah.
I can guarantee it.
Yeah. Well, that's like, and that's another thing. You can't like, I mean, you can because people do, but you can't reach back 20 years ago and find something that some old person said 20 years ago, because 20 years ago wasn't a fucking big deal.
Right.
Because 90% of the population felt that way. Never opened a Twitter account. She was in anger.
Hi, Susan.
Hi, Susan.
Don't do it.
I've had a Twitter for a long time, off and on, but I hardly ever used it. I hardly ever used it until I got into the online entertainment industry. Just because it's kind of like a staple in networking.
Yeah.
Twitter.
That's
what
how.
was I saying before?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Well, Twitter was like back in high school very big for like kids my age, I guess. And I don't tweet as much as some people my age do, but I was off Twitter literally this past year until we started like doing the podcast again. I was like, oh, I should probably be more active on this again. And I don't know, I used to be like really mean. Like anything that was on my mind, I would tweet it. It was stupid.
Yeah, that's not good.
It was like I was in a bad relationship. I would, you know, in high school, like you go through so many friends, so many people, and like I would, anything that was on my mind, like I would, you know what subtweeting is?
No.
So subtweet is like when pretty much you talk shit about someone but you don't at them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like you know,
You just tweet.
you just tweet, but it's clearly about a specific person, but you don't tag
Right.
that person.
I mean,
'cause
when
it's
you
like it's mean.
when you add somebody, you're talking to them. I mean, I don't know.
So when you don't add them, you're talking about them.
Well, yeah, I just didn't figure that they had a whole category for
It's
that
called
type
subtweeting.
of tweet. Oh, I figured that was just a regular tweet.
So, and it was funny because like when I would clearly
Hello,
like
Darth Vader. Sorry.
when I would clearly subtweet somebody, they would like later, like 2 hours later, tweet like, "This bitch is subtweeting me."
Subtweet again.
Yeah, that's like how it went in high school. And like 2
fucking
weeks
lame.
later, it was a small town, and we'd be fine again because we all had to be close no matter what. It's just
I
the
mean,
way
you didn't
freaking-
have to. You could just left.
No, I liked to get along with everybody,
I know you do.
except for
Something's going down out there.
yeah.
Sirens. Sirens everywhere.
Maybe they're getting the people who are selling drugs here.
Doubt it.
Can you pass me a Reese's? Maybe like 5 Reese's.
5? I thought you got up to get your own candy. You didn't get any candy when you got the hooks? Damn, you fucked up.
I think it was after the
I
hooks.
don't think so. There you go.
You actually gave me 4.
Did you want 5? Did you need 5?
No.
What's up? We're doing a podcast. That's what's up. What's up with you? There, guy. I had a point.
I don't know.
At a point and we got off point.
Always happens.
Something about something.
Finding bad tweets.
Oh, just the world that we live in nowadays. It doesn't matter how hard you try, you're always going to offend somebody.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Fuck you.
Do you want me to tell you about the one time I offended an old lady?
Sure.
So I was ringing her out, and I could see, like, when they give me their phone number, I can see their name or whatever. And her name was, like, I don't know, let's say her name was Ashley, right?
Sure. Ashley.
So
The old lady.
I can see their name, so I'll generally, like, talk to them, like, and say their name. But, like, oh, how's your day going, Ashley, or whatever. And I had set, like I said, I didn't say her name at that time. I was like, hey, like, how's your day going? And she goes, my name isn't Susan. And I, like, looked, and I was like, I know. And she had thought I said, like, I thought her said she had thought I said Susan, but I never said Susan. And she was like, just looked at me, and I was like, okay. So I just kind of like smiled and tried to like change the vibe, because it was a really bad vibe. She was automatically really mad at me, even though I just asked her how she was doing. So I rang her out, and I was like, okay, you have a good day. And she goes, can I say something to you? And I was like, yeah, sure, anything. And she goes, I find it very offensive that you automatically think that my name is Susan. And I was like, what? And like, she was like, well, how old was she? Hold on. I am 68 years old. Why would you just assume that's my name? And I was like,
sorry, Ruth.
I was like, what? Like, I was like, she screamed at me, and like all of my cashiers like just looked at me, and like I was just like, hold on. And I was like trying to still make it right with her, because she's so mad at me.
If you won't say it to their face, don't post it on social media.
Yeah, that was how stupid I was in high school.
Yeah. The problem with that for me is that I will say it to your face.
Yeah.
And I have absolutely no problem with
that. I just don't say anything mean to people anymore. Like, I don't have like those negative bad thoughts about people.
I have a lot of negative bad thoughts about people all the time, 24/7.
That's why we're so different. Like, I love to see the light in people. I love to see the good in people. I love to find like the positivity in people.
Well, here's the thing. You like,
except for that one lady at that one girl at that one restaurant.
Rosati's?
No. The hot dog place.
Oh, that girl?
Yeah, she's mean. Anyways.
I mean, I guess. I think she's just
I think she just hates her job.
Yeah, or life.
Yeah. Anyway.
But the thing about that is, like, you like to find the positivity in people or whatever. Mm-hmm. I would like to, but there just isn't any.
There's always good in people.
I don't know.
I found the good in you somehow.
Did you? What's the good in me?
You're all right for a white guy.
Yeah. I find that offensive. Let's see, what else do we have here?
I don't know.
We really drugged that one out.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
You know what I was thinking about?
What were you thinking about?
Day? So I really hate humans. Yes, I absolutely hate people.
I like 100%. People. I love dogs.
Yeah, well. See,
Kendall cue to my quote of the day.
I am okay with dogs. I like cats, and I hate people. I love you. And my mother.
I love your mom.
That's about it. That's about all I got. I mean, I have love for the rest of my family. I have love for my family, but you know what I mean. Like those people, like, I could say that there are a small group of people that I love, but I'm in love with you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's kind of the same thing as, like, I have love for my family. I don't want to say that I don't love my family. Like, I have love for them. Mm-hmm. I'm just not super close with anybody because I'm not close with anybody, period. Mm-hmm. Literally 3 people in my life that I am like very, very, very close with. Like 3 people that are in a category of their own.
So, me, your mom, Eli?
Yes.
Hey.
The thing about me and Eli is that we've been friends forever, and we've been not friends before. Mm-hmm. We've been barely neighbors before, acquaintances, not even friends. Sometimes we wish we didn't live across the street from each other growing up, but we made it. We made it through life, and we're still friends.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I was thinking about my childhood best friend the other day.
Were you?
Yeah, like the one person that I hung out with all the time. And I was like, I wonder what it'd be like if we still talked.
Yeah.
like if we'd be different people if we stayed close.
And that's like why I feel the way that I feel about the friends that I have. Like Braden, I met Braden later on in life.
Mm-hmm.
Like me and Braden have that connection where we can walk into a room and just look at each other, and the first thing that we saw was the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
We're just like, yeah, we know, without saying anything.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. But it's just different. I mean, I have that in a sense with Eli too. Like we're all very similar people, and like Bryce has been in and out more in nowadays because he got a computer pretty much, and we started playing video games. But the only other person, there are two people. My best childhood friend, Adam, who is my cousin barely by marriage now, but we used to be really good friends, and then life happens, and then my buddy Ryan, who we were like, had things never changed between us, I would put Ryan in a category above Eli, to be honest. Sorry, Eli. But if things had never changed between me and Ryan, and we went through life like we did until today, I'd be like, that guy is my blood. But things changed. He moved away, hours away, and life happened. So that's why I hold Eli up, because we went through everything. We went through life and all of that, and we're still close. And he's the only one that really was there from the beginning and is still here now.
I was gonna say, 'cause even you moved away and he still like makes the time to come see you. Like, how many times does he come?
Well, that was the first time I moved away is kind of when the bond between us fell apart for like a real thing, not just like a childhood thing where we're hanging out and we don't like each other for the day or whatever. But like when I moved away the first time is when we really drifted. And then moving up here, obviously there have been times where we don't communicate a whole lot or whatever, but it is what it is. Yeah. I still go down there a lot. Well, I did go down there a lot more than I do now.
Yeah.
But he's been up here a couple of times just since I met you.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, the whole thing started when I said, you know what I was thinking about, and that had nothing to do with anything we just talked about. I was thinking the other day when I was sitting down watching Joe Rogan.
Oh, okay.
And I was just like, I wonder how many times, like, there's got to be some sort of script. Like, I've heard him say in his podcast before, like, I think we covered everything that we were going to cover today. So I know there's some sort of script similar to what we have. Mm-hmm. Not a script, but at least a general layout of things that we want to talk about, things that we want to touch on the night.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wonder how many times does he end the podcast and just go, fuck, I forgot about that, like we do. Or like in the middle of talking about something, just go off the rails, and in his head he's like, shit, I don't remember. Like, how many times do you get lost in a bit? Like I do.
I think about that a lot.
I wonder where we are as far as our capabilities with the podcast compared to other people. Because
most of the podcasts that I listen to, they're all edited.
Yeah.
They're all edited. And
heavily edited. And that's why I really love doing the live stuff, because you get raw. Mm-hmm. You get raw, and I post the live video on YouTube as a static video for people to see. Mm-hmm. And some people may think less of it because it's unpolished or whatever, but I'm not going to say, well, and Joe Rogan does his live too. Mm-hmm. Which I have a lot of respect for, because he's like on another level with his podcast. His podcasts are so fucking good, and he does them live for 4 hours at a fucking time. Like, that shit's crazy. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I just wonder where we're at.
the beginning.
I just mean like, yeah, I don't know. She's going nuts in there. I just mean like from maybe not a content standpoint or like I just mean like capability. Where we stand as far as holding our show together.
I don't know.
I think we're all right.
Honestly, I feel like it's rough in the beginning.
When we start?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, today
That's me being honest.
Today was rough because
no, like I've been saying that I've been saying that for a while.
Whatever. You just don't like my intro.
That's not it. It's not the intro. I said aside from the intro.
I mean, it takes a while for us to get warmed up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It takes a while for us to get warmed up, so it's slow.
So?
I'm just giving you my opinion.
So what do you want to do about it?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't have an answer.
You just got problems.
I just got problems.
You just point out my flaws. You don't have any answers for them.
They're my flaws too.
Hmm.
I'm getting hostile. You're getting hostile.
I'm not getting hostile. No. I understand
Are
that
you
what
offended?
No. I understand that what you're saying is not offensive, and I am therefore not offended by it.
Thank you for clarifying.
You know what I saw today?
What did you see?
Speaking of offensive.
No.
No, it wasn't something that was offensive. It's just something that I laughed at, and me laughing at it was probably offensive, but they didn't see it, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, dear God.
But now I'm telling you guys. I saw, so as I said earlier, I work in a prison. I saw an inmate today that tried to tell time.
No.
He was counting the numbers, and he just couldn't get it, so he had somebody else come over and count with him.
Oh.
And they figured out the time together.
That's really cute.
No, it's not cute. These men are 30 plus years old.
I know so many people who cannot tell time from a regular clock.
Stop.
I swear. I know so many people.
Do they have mechanical analog clocks and try to set their alarm for the morning and it goes off an hour later because it can't tell the difference between AM and PM?
No one would get that joke because you deleted the last video.
True. I'm going to take clips of that part. I like that part.
Okay.
I see a lot of shit at my job.
I don't want to hear about it, honestly.
Why?
Depending on what it is.
What up, Teeks? Welcome back. Depending on what it is. No, it's just funny stuff.
Okay.
I
don't know. You know what people, like the first thing people think about when they hear prisons?
What? Rape?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen any rape.
Does it happen?
Yes.
Ugh.
It's happened a handful of times in the 4 years that I've been at my prison.
Ugh. I don't understand because it's not long term there.
No, it's not. But some people are fucked up. Is the way it is.
Can we change the subject?
No, we cannot change the subject.
Oh, it just makes me uncomfortable.
No, the only time that there has been a quote unquote any sort of quote unquote rape has been between, I don't know, maybe they were homosexual in the first place and one of them got mad at the other one, so they claim rape because it's an all male prison. Anyways, something really sad that I found that I didn't find. I was talking to an inmate a couple years ago, and I was working in the school. So we have a school there. They do adult basic education, the ABE. They get people GEDs. They have HBI, which is the Home Builders Institute, to get people I don't know, familiar with tools. So because construction, roofing, and all of that is a big part of that. Like they hire a lot of felons.
Mm-hmm.
There was a guy who was taking an ABE course, which ABE is like the basic, the most basic we can get, and they start from the beginning. and this guy was talking to me, and he was like, I don't remember how we got on the subject, but he started talking about his daughter, and his daughter was like 8 years old or something like that. And he's like, my daughter, his daughter could apparently read better than he could. And he was like, obviously from Chicago. Most of our inmates are from Chicago or the northern Illinois area in the first place. A lot of them don't have access to schools. So like we started asking him questions, and he'd never been to a school ever.
What?
Never been through a single grade.
How is
not
that
a single
possible?
year. He didn't have parents. He literally grew up on the streets. Never been to a school. So he had a daughter who was in a school. And, you know, granted, she's only 8 years old. She's a couple of grades in. But she is already literally book smarter than he is. So he was like coming to the prison and having access to schools and seeing, you know, as a grown man, how difficult that could be.
That's so sad.
He was very saddened himself by it. He's like, it's embarrassing that my daughter can read and I can't.
Oh, that's so sad.
And it's very rare that you actually have cases like that where the inmate actually wants to better himself for a reason like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very rare. Most of the guys who go through the school program there don't do it willingly. I think they have to some degree go through it at some point, like they're assigned to the school. I have one more. It's a little funnier than that one. That one was sad.
That was really sad. Really brought me down. This
Wings?
podcast, this
on?
stream has been a roller coaster of emotions.
Well, we knew it was gonna be. If you guys missed the beginning of the stream, we talked about our hedgehog Prick, who had a rough week and recently passed away on Thursday. And we do these podcasts once a week, so this is the first time that we've been able to get on air and talk about it.
Yeah.
So that was probably like the first 20 minutes of the podcast was going through our week with our hedgehog. Anyways, so the last piece that I have here about an inmate, I was working in the dietary, the chow hall, and there's an inmate. I'm not going to use his actual last name. So he said that someone stole his coat. Okay, so we should probably send him to laundry to get a new coat because it's winter. This was not this year. This was like a year ago or so. So we're like, okay, what's your name? And he said, let me think of a...
John Smith.
His last name was like Smith-Johnson.
Oh.
So his name would be like Terry Smith Johnson. Sure. And just jokingly, I was like, well, is it Smith or is it Johnson? And he's like, well, my mama didn't know who the daddy was, so she gave me both last names.
Oh, no, Matt. And he just wanted to tell you about it all, didn't he?
And I was like, are you fucking serious? Why didn't she just give you her? Never mind. I don't care.
He wanted to talk about it, didn't he?
No, he was just answering the question.
He was just answering the question.
He was just answering the question. He was like, I mean,
God.
that is what it is. Like, this is why my last name is this.
No.
Uh,
What else you got?
I don't know.
Oh.
Lots of little bitty letters here on this piece of paper.
Yeah.
So, contrary to what my buddy said about having a shower thoughts section, my showers are actually super short and super hurried in the mornings when I'm late for work every single day. So I have more like prison thoughts about the podcast than I do in the shower. So I think I'm going to have prison thoughts instead of
I haven't
shower
showered,
thoughts.
so.
That's ever? Wow.
I haven't showered this week.
I thought there was something funky about you.
You're gross. Just kidding. No, I don't. I remember. I think I've been listening to podcasts while I would take a shower.
So many podcasts that you couldn't shower?
No, I've been listening to
just ran out of
podcasts
time
while
to
I shower.
Oh, okay.
You're the worst.
I have another sad story.
Can you not?
So we live in Illinois. You know where Bloomington is, right?
Yeah.
Down to the south-ish,
Yeah.
somewhere. There was a girls' junior varsity basketball team traveling on a bus, and a semi went the wrong way and hit their bus. Yeah.
How many died?
The driver and another school aide. None of the basketball girls died,
That's super sad.
but some of them were injured, not critically. Some of the other adults were critically injured, but not fatally.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I've always that's always been that was always a fear of mine when on the bus
Mm-hmm.
because you literally are strapped to nothing.
Yeah, there's no seatbelt. Well, there are seatbelts, but
We didn't have seatbelts.
some of the buses have seatbelts, but none of them really work. We don't know how they work.
We had one seatbelt and it was at the front of the bus.
Yeah.
And that was it.
I don't know. Just got to trust those drivers. I never thought about it, ever.
I did.
Yeah.
Especially when it became illegal when you didn't wear a seatbelt.
Mm. You were worried about that as a kid on a bus?
Yeah. I was a strange kid.
Yeah. Yeah, you were. Still are a strange kid.
It's weird. That's
Yeah.
exactly the way my father says it too.
Anyways, moving on. I don't know if I told you about Amazon. Taking bids from cities on their secondary headquarters.
Oh, really?
Chicago was in the running
I'm sure.
down to the last handful of cities. And I was like, if Amazon puts their headquarters too in Chicago, I will leave the prison. Chicago didn't get it. It's down to New York and somebody else. New York and DC or something like that. So I was really sad. I just looked that up before the podcast today. That unfortunately, I have to stay at my job.
Why'd you go work for Google or something?
Google. I don't know. We could. The headquarters one for Amazon is in Seattle, Washington. You want to go to Seattle?
No.
Me neither.
It's rainy there.
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
Me too. We haven't eaten yet.
I had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich today.
What are you doing with your foot?
Anything that I want.
That's weird.
Isn't my toe dirty?
Yeah. Can you put
It's
your
just
foot
really
down?
worn out.
What's wrong with you? So what do we have today? We had the Hedgehog. We had.
Did you have a high point of your week? Did you have a good part of your week?
I did and I didn't, because the thing that led to the highest point of my week, I realized we did low points and we never did high points, and I forgot about that after I did the intro.
It's cool.
The high point of my week came after a low, or it was caused by a low. So the highest point of my week, I got a new computer monitor.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why it's not as high as it should be is because for me to get a new computer monitor, my perfectly good computer monitor stopped working for no apparent reason whatsoever.
So it wasn't perfectly good. That's what you're saying.
It was the night before. Perfectly fucking good. And then we go to Best Buy, and Kendall can't even buy it.
So he's freaking out because, okay, first of all, I was like, let me tell you. Let me tell the story. So I wanted dinner. So I said, I'm going to pay for dinner. Let's go out for dinner. So we're going to leave. And I walk out of the bedroom, and I just start tapping my foot like I'm ready to go. And then I realized that Matt is on his computer and is doing something because your monitor wasn't working. So you were like running around.
Mm-hmm.
And I instantly felt bad because like I pissed you off.
You were making light of the situation. You were making a fucking joke and it wasn't fucking funny, and I was offended by it.
I didn't know what was going on. I was just like, seriously, you're gonna play with your computer right now when I want to go eat. And I didn't realize that it was your computer wasn't working.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt bad, and I was just like, do you need a new monitor? Like, I'll get you a new monitor. Like, let's, whatever. And you're like, no. And then we were at dinner, and I was like, you're going to need a new monitor. Because you were, like, mad. And then we got to dinner, and you were like, yeah, I'm going to need a new monitor. I was like, fine, I could buy you a new monitor. You're like, you realize how much that is, right? And I was like, you said, like, $150. We had to Walmart, and I said, okay, like, I'm preparing for $150 to, like, $180, $200, whatever. They didn't have any at Walmart.
No monitors at Walmart, only TVs.
So we had to go to Best Buy. And your girl's really good at sales.
Yeah, so we found a monitor that I really liked, and it was $400, so we put it back. And then you started shopping online, and you're like, hey, look, there's this one for $180.
Mm-hmm.
So I looked at the specs on her phone, and I was like, okay, it's decent. It's like, something I would be comfortable with letting you buy. It's not like the top of the line one that was $400, but I'm not going to have you buy me a $400 monitor.
I couldn't afford it. I mean, I could afford a $400 monitor. I just don't want to spend my money on a $400 monitor.
I don't want you to either.
Good.
So we picked one up and took it up to the front counter, and they're like, it's $230. And we're like, excuse me?
First of all, I want to say something. I'm that person that, like, I ignore, like, I tune out people when they repeat the price.
Mm-hmm.
So honestly, I probably would have just swiped my card.
She's like, $230. You're like, oh yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, and it's normally what I do. And then I was just like waiting for the sale. I was like, oh yeah. And then it was like higher than I expected. I was like, that's not right.
Yeah, that's $50 more than we expected to pay.
I was like,
So we looked, and it turns out I was off by a letter. The box that I picked up was 25.
A number,
yeah. It was 25F, and the one that I looked at on her phone was 27F. So we went back to the back, and they had 27Fs, and I was like, ooh, yay. And it turns out it's the exact same monitor, except the 25F was not on sale. The 27F is 2 inches bigger and is on sale. It was on sale for $70 off. Mm-hmm. So we got a bigger, more expensive monitor on sale for less than the smaller monitor. And that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. I guess that would be the high point.
Except when we went to go ring out, I swiped my card and my card wouldn't work. And the lady's like, it's been declined. I was like, nope, there's money on there. There is money on there. I just got paid.
Plenty of money.
And we just used it. I just paid for dinner.
Yeah.
And and we just got groceries as well. So I was like, there's no way. And then so we tried it again. It still didn't work. And then so I was like, whatever. I have my credit card. I just paid off my credit card. So I went to go put my credit card in. Sorry, that was a really dramatic pause that I couldn't think of how to get out. I went to go put my credit card and I put it in and then I take it out immediately and I was like, that's not going to process for another 24 hours and I paid it off 4 hours ago. So I like looked at him and I was like, I'm sorry, like I don't know what to do. And then he just like puts in his card and I was like, I hate myself. I hate myself. So
it's what I would have had to do anyways.
Yeah.
I would have had to buy it myself anyways.
Yeah. So not only did I have to I couldn't use my debit card all weekend because it didn't work anywhere. It's broken.
Apparently it's broken.
It's broken because my old-fashioned ass doesn't want to get a chip reader yet. So now it's time to get a chip reader. I just don't. She's
got an old debit card through a credit union that's not even really a debit card because she has to run it at credit at every terminals. She has to run it as credit at every terminal. Get with the times.
And he just ranted about it last night.
On a rampage. All right. It's about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
That is plenty.
I need to wash my face.
It's all the time.
I got acne.
All the time that we have for this weekend. We'll be back next weekend. I will still be streaming most likely tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday nights on Twitch. Twitch.tv/beardsandblush. We are still looking for 10 subscribers.
Yeah.
10 subs and we'll roll swap. Where Kendall wears beard and I wear makeup. And we podcast. Next week should be a normal podcast. The week after that, we will be exchanging gifts. The Sunday before Christmas will be our Christmas stream. The Christmas special.
Lies.
Okay. What are we doing, next Monday instead?
So, no, next Sunday I can do.
Okay.
But the following Christmas one I can't do until Christmas Eve.
What? I thought you were going to have that off.
Christmas Eve?
No, Sunday.
Nope.
Why?
I work 2 to 11.
And the Monday?
I'm off. That's Christmas Eve.
Monday is Christmas Eve?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, it is. All right. I guess we're streaming Christmas Eve, not Sunday.
Sorry, y'all.
We'll be exchanging gifts Christmas Eve. Yay.
Yay.
I'm sure we'll have a lot of viewers that night. Nobody has anything better to do on Christmas Eve than watch our little podcast.
Sorry.
Anyways, that's it. If you enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up. Subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe on Twitch. Follow on Twitch. All of that stuff.
If you didn't like it, still give us a thumbs up and leave in the comments how bad we suck.
Or give it a thumbs down. I don't give a shit.
Don't give me a thumbs down. I got really hurt when we got a thumbs down.
We did. We got one random thumbs down. Somebody came through and just clicked thumbs down and left.
Made me really upset.
It's okay. It's gonna happen. Yeah, it's our first thumbs down.
If you have some criticism, still give us a thumbs up and just tell us how bad we suck in the comments. Cool.
Yeah. Follow us on Twitter.
Yeah.
Follow us on Instagram.
Follow us on Instagram.
All right. We'll be back next week.